Okay, welcome back. Okay, Cameron, are you okay? Well, that's our thing. Okay, welcome to the Quirky E-Boys podcast. And that's a great start. Okay, today I am joined here by Demon Slayer, aka Landon.
Am I supposed to
Okay,
say
say something,
something?
Landon.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yes, this
I
is
forgot.
Okay, just say something real quick.
Oh, I did.
I
Say something. What's
okay.
up?
Okay, and then I'm here with Mink Ace, aka Cameron.
Sorry, I
Howdy.
was lagging.
Okay, and I'm here with Ziggy Bryant, aka Zian.
Hey,
Okay, so we have a couple things for you guys today, and hopefully I can make this last an hour or 55 minutes or however long we need to make it. So, my homie Landon has an interesting story to kick us off with in the first minute. Okay, so this
Alright.
happened a couple weeks ago, so you can start.
All right. So last time I was gonna say this, and I decided not to. And I decided I'm not gonna use names. We decided we're not using names anymore. So we're going girl 1 and girl 2. So we'll say yeah, you guys will catch on who they are because they know their names. All the people in the party. So I was
I
at
already know what it is.
girl
yeah,
one's
yeah.
house. Yeah. I was at girl one's house. Okay, the night before that, they FaceTimed me, girl 1 and girl 2, because they were together, and they're like, "Hey, you should come over tomorrow." I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll come over tomorrow." And so I went over, and it was pretty chill and everything. And then girl 2 had to go leave so she could get Sonic for one of her friends. So it's just me and girl 1, and this is girl 1's house, and we're just chilling on the bed. And then it gets a little intimate, little hand to hand combat, little hand to vagina,
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
yes.
Little hand to vagina, hand to dick. You know how it be. And I didn't finish. You gotta keep this in mind. I don't know if I ever told you guys that. I didn't finish with girl 1. And
too
So-
boring for you.
too boring. It was just a hand
Was
job.
it?
Like, come on now. So,
Yeah.
girl 2, we hear girl 2 coming back, and we're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and stop this. We don't want girl 2 seeing this. So then, we're all chilling. I also, you guys didn't know this part. I took a colorblind test again, which you guys already know I'm colorblind, and I failed miserably
Yes.
on it. So, we were just laughing about that. And girl 1 has to go get ready for cheer. So it's just me and girl 2, and me and girl 2 are pretty good friends.
Wait, so where does she go to get ready for cheer? Because how long is she gone?
She had to go to
Well, she also had to go to cheer.
her cousin's house. She had to go to
To get
I'll
ready
tell
for
you
cheer?
her name later. That's yeah, because her cousin picked her up. I'll tell you her name later.
And her parents
cousin.
just let you to stay there?
Yeah, her parents, I don't think they really care. They're just kind of,
Oh.
I mean, it's just her mom, and her mom's just kind of. Anyways, she left, and we're just chilling upstairs in her bed. And it's just me and girl 2, and we're already pretty good friends, so we're just like, kicking it off. Same thing happens with girl 2 as girl 1, but now it starts getting a little further. And you gotta keep in mind, I'm a virgin up to this point, but I always keep the condom on me. You can never be too safe.
Always keep the strap on you.
Always keep the strap on me. So I kind of just whipped it out. And also, girl 2 was a thing with somebody at this time. That's another reason we're not using names. Because this is not a. It's a risky play on my part, but so it just started going down with the condom out. Started, this is the story of Demon Slayer losing his V card.
Mind you, might you have it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say true love or anything crazy like that. His boy was horny, wanted some fuck, but starts going down in girl 1's bed. and it was pretty nice. And I lasted about 15 minutes, and then girl,
Which I applaud you for that first on the first go.
and then I never told girl one that I was finished. So she was just sitting on the writing for probably like 5 or 10 more minutes.
You mean girl two?
Yeah, did I say girl one? I'm at girl two. Sorry, I'm getting
Yeah.
my girls mixed up.
Got
And
so many hoes you get them mixed up.
no, it's just two.
What? I thought I fell through the map.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Then it was pretty awkward afterwards because girl two's mom took us home. We were just chilling in the car with her
This
mom.
dumbass failed his driver's test.
Oh yeah, I failed my driver's test, so I couldn't drive over there.
Rip.
I was just sitting in the car, and I was like, I was slumped after that one. I was like, man, ready
Her
to go home
mom
and take a
brought you
nap.
back from the coochie appointment.
Yeah, and then I got home from the coochie appointment, and here we are now.
Well, that's a great story. Man, we're gonna have a lot of time because we're only 6 minutes in, and that was one story, and we're gonna have to think of some other stuff. Okay.
Shit.
So, is there like
I
any
don't know
other
if I can tell my
details you
story,
can go
'cause
into?
I think I'm lagging pretty bad.
No, you aren't.
Well,
Uh,
let me think. So,
Jesus.
girl one isn't really like that, she's a girl of God. I wouldn't say that, but she's not really done anything like that. And dude, I'm still scared that one of the girls are gonna be like, hey, yo, guess what happened? Like, blah, blah, blah. I know it's not gonna be girl two. I know girl two's not gonna tell girl one, because I feel like girl one would be the type of girl to tell, girl
Flex.
two's boyfriend. Or not boyfriend. But girl one would definitely be the type to be like, guess what happened to me? Blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, that's what I hope. That's what I hope doesn't happen.
Got my coochie thrown into the Mortal Kombat zone.
Finish her. We were debating on
You could
whether
say I
just
got
calling instead
finished
of
right there.
girl one and girl two, we were just gonna call them John and Jerry.
Yeah, that would have made it a little bit more funny, because
It made it a
you
little gay,
guys.
not gonna lie, but it's whatever.
you probably.
Whatever.
That's what gay is funny.
Pride
though.
Month, Pride
Oh,
Month.
speaking of gay, Zian.
What? Nigga, what?
Yeah, speaking of gay, Ian, how's your love life going?
Oh, you know how it be. Be kicking it off.
No,
okay.
I don't know how it'd be actually.
What are you talking about, Lake?
Oh yeah, I forgot you're gay. So yeah. So,
Oh,
is
my
anything
God.
actually going on with your love life, or?
No, what the? I haven't gone to sleep in like, for the past 3 days. And
What does that have to do with your love life?
What's your love life,
Bro,
I haven't gone to sleep
I'm
in
on
the past 3
Xbox
days.
24/7. I don't think you. I've been in.
You can still like
freaking
Snapchat
Springfield,
people
bro.
though.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
on
that
Xbox
reminds
a
me,
lot.
bro. I
Or
felt
at work.
bad because that one girl, bro, I hit up in Hawaii, and then like my phone died, and I didn't have it for like a week, so I just left her on scent, bro.
Damn. Cameron was pulling
Did you hit
cooch too.
Did you hit her back up, or?
Yeah, and then she never said anything, which kind of ripped, but it's whatever.
Fuck.
Whoa.
Sorry,
But then again, I did see a story a little bit later. It said, sorry if I don't reply back, phone problems. But I feel like that's kind of a,
Probably just
Definitely
made a
a
story with
lie.
just you in it.
probably.
Yeah, I haven't had any love problems since I got cock blocked by that one chick's mom.
Yo, wait, what?
What about the one story?
Yo,
you told us
what?
about? You told
No,
the story earlier.
finger blocked. Finger blocked.
Oh,
I told you this. Yeah.
okay, yeah. Never mind. Okay, sorry, I was
Yeah.
so confused. I was like, when
About
was
to-
this?
I was about to. Yeah, I was about to go in for the Mortal Kombat slam and ring, 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 ring. Freaking mom calls and said I'm on my way home, so I had to dip, which was the fattest rip.
Man, I really wish I didn't tell
I've-
that story first because I wasn't really like in the mindset for it yet. So
What kind of
let's get
mindset
some
do you have to be to
ready to
lose your
explain.
virginity story?
But
Oh.
I don't know. I'm just kidding. But anyways, let's get some interesting shit up in this bitch. Let's get some topics, all right?
Some
What's
toxic. Yeah, we'll save the ends for later.
Oh yeah, wait,
Yes.
Zian. Oh no, actually,
Wait,
yeah,
I was
let's
gonna
just save
say
it for
though.
later. Let's
What
spread
was it?
stories out. Yeah.
I was gonna say about Blake's
Yeah.
story, but I forgot what it was. He told us earlier. Fuck.
Ghost?
No. Blake had like an actual story he told us about, and then like
The first night at
Damn it,
Jake's
I
I don't
house.
don't
even
was-
remember.
I have to
First
remember
night
it
what?
again.
It was the Friday gang thing, right, Cameron?
That?
No, not
Was
that.
it that?
It was like
Okay, well,
way a
anyway.
Was
while
it
back.
like when was it?
I don't remember what it was.
No, not what was it? Like when did I tell this? So I can try to remember.
A while ago. It was like I was still
Oh.
on BO4 with Trevor.
Oh, it was a while ago. Talking about today.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. Okay, does anybody got any topics?
I do.
Okay.
So we all know. I don't know if people. I mean, we don't have very many viewers on the podcast, right? But if we ever do,
No.
let's talk about
And they look
our
back at this.
thoughts on urban legends. All right. I know, or not like urban legends, not like the gay shit, like fucking the Wendigo crawled into my skin and ripped my bones from the inside out. Not that stupid shit. I mean like Bigfoot and the Yeti. Let's hear
Oh.
Blake. Let's hear Blake's thoughts on this first.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So-
I know Blake's a pro in this.
So.
Yeah, yes, exactly. That's
uh,
why.
I 100% believe in the Bigfoot because only here I don't know my analytics like perfect, but a very small percentage of California has actually been like discovered, like talking about Yosemite and all their national parks. And bro, if you ever been there, you know it's like perfect habitat for a Sasquatch. And I honestly believe
Is that near
they're
Yellowstone
Sasquatch.
or where is that? Can you?
Yellowstone. It's Northern California, like near Redwood and all that.
Yeah. So yeah, near Yellowstone because that's the redwood forest goes into Yellowstone.
Oh yeah.
Because yeah, I
Yeah.
could see that. I've been
Yeah.
to Yellowstone before, and I could see that. Like the redwood forest looks like I could see.
And I
this
feel like the
fucking
Earth
shit,
is
bro.
way too big for something like that not to exist. Because
Why
to
did I
me,
just lose track
it's just like a
of
bigger
thought?
monkey that lives in America.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily. I believe in the big. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a hardcore believer, but I don't shut down the fact that there could be one. Like 100%, there could be one. I wouldn't be surprised if there
Do you
was
think-
one because
Do you think this
just a big
Sasquatch?
monkey man.
Oh, yeah. Do you think the Sasquatch would
Was
be
he?
as smart as us, or has a general idea of like intelligence?
No, definitely not smart. Probably like a monkey smart.
Monkeys are pretty damn smart though, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like
Well, I mean, like
they aren't as
you'd have
smart as
to
us.
think
Like
it'd be it somewhat smart if it's staying like hidden to the point most people believe it's a myth.
Yeah, that's why I asked
That is
that,
true, because
to be for real.
like if that bitch shows its face, it's definitely getting killed instantly. Like people aren't gonna try to be friends with the Bigfoot. People are definitely killing that motherfucker if they see it.
for real, for real.
Fuck it, I would.
Yeah.
I'd hang his head
And
up on
then
my wall.
the
bro.
Yeti. I think I believe in a little bit more because Antarctica and all those places have been like barely discovered.
Yeah. I'll
Do you think the
agree
Yeti
with
would
you
be
on
still alive, or do you think in Antarctica you think it'd be frozen into the ground and stuff like that?
Well, there'd be.
Well, you see-
they'd obviously be built for the cold, like polar bears and stuff.
I think is it 70% of Antarctica? This don't quote me on this, but I believe it's 70% of Antarctica still hasn't even been like explored of the tundra. Or no, it's
Yeah.
70% of the tundra, not just Antarctica. Just snow in general still hasn't been explored. So I could definitely see.
No, don't
a
do this,
Yeti.
bro. No, Landon, don't do. No, bro. I was clearing out a spot to freaking.
Oh my bad.
Yo, can
We
you
can
get
just put
privileges
dirt
to
over
everyone
it.
so I can like teleport or whatever?
Okay. Okay, talking back on the Yeti, Sasquatch stuff. Yeah, it's just like deep sea. I believe. I'm not gonna. Oh my cat's banging on my door. Okay, I'm not gonna like So I completely believe in anything, like in the deep sea, because we haven't discovered like any of that shit yet, and it's so freaking cool to me.
Cthulhu? Cthulhu's supposed to
Not
live in the sea.
Cthulhu.
Confirmed. It's confirmed. Cthulhu's.
Like the Kraken and shit. I bet that shit's real, bro.
The Kraken? You think the Kraken is real? I don't see the Kraken being real. Well, maybe in like the bottom of the ocean, but I don't. I mean, like, I don't see like the
I
Kraken.
don't see. I
but,
don't
like,
see it being the bottom of
big-ass-
the ocean due to the fact that
Big ass
like, it's
squids
not light,
are
though.
real. Like, I know that for a fact.
Yeah,
Like, literally, like
giant
there's,
squid.
like, yeah, there was recently a squid that literally like fucking reached its tentacle over a boat. That's pretty spooky, bro. And that's I consider that like that's like because like that could be
That's
because
like
you know how
Kraken,
pirates
like-
pirates have like myths with the Kraken that have sunken their
Oh,
boats
what the
before.
hell?
Maybe it was just a big squid that sunk their boat. You know.
Yeah.
Because if a big squid gets a hold of a wooden boat and flips that shit over, like, you can't really do anything about it. Like, the boats we have now are way more stable than a wooden pirate ship boat.
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah, so I basically believe in any like deep sea myth or like the Sasquatch stuff, but I don't believe in like Goat Man or whatever that shit is, because that's just retarded.
The chupacabra.
Chupacabra is, I think it's pretty
Believable.
real.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah,
What
because
about-
it's
what
basically
about,
a dog that sucks blood.
Isn't
Yeah, I watched a whole bunch of. You know, I was in my little obsession with
is that what the
Mothman for a
chupacabra is
while.
called? Oh, the
Yeah.
goat sucker. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So, Mothman, there's so much evidence in West Virginia pointing to what it's like that it's real. Like literally, so there's like these pictures in West Virginia of like this weird figure that was over like the bridge that fell down in West Virginia. Cause so anyway, let me give you a backstory. Mothman was like this. People were like seeing him all over the place. There was like sightings of him all over the place, right before this big disaster happened where like a bridge fell and like so many people were seeing him and people that would have no reason to lie were seeing him and like police were literally retiring from their jobs because they would like go on call and they'd like see a figure with like bright red eyes and they I don't know why they call him Mothman. He looked more like a giant vampire bat according to like all the accounts and stuff. And so there was the bridge collapsed. This bridge in West Virginia collapsed, and there was like this figure that was just hanging, like not hanging, just like flying over the bridge, like a black figure, and it looks like a man just flying over the bridge with like wings. And people were like hanging it up because they got like it on like security footage. Like they got like it wasn't like some guy taking a picture, like it was like security footage. And anyways, somehow all of those pictures, like all the printed copies of them, just disappeared in one night. Like all the ones hung up around town, they all got taken down and disappeared in one night. And ever since then, there hasn't been any like legit. Like people have obviously claimed to see him, but I don't think it's real. But people have claimed to see the Mothman. But I definitely like. I mean, there's got to be something there. Like they saw him, and he just went away after this big disaster. Like he was just trying to like warn them about a disaster because he never harmed anybody in any accounts. He just scared the fuck out of people because he's a giant moth.
Yeah. Okay. I think we could hear
Nigga.
Zian's story now if he wants to. The most
My
scuffed
CPO story.
podcast.
So,
Yeah.
tell me if I just ever lag or whatever, because there have been a few times where I've had a couple of lag spikes. But anyways,
Mhm.
I went over to one of my friends' houses, and we wanted to milk some. And
Explain what
there
milking
wasn't really
is
anyone
because
available.
people are retarded and don't know what that is.
But we weren't. There wasn't anyone really selling.
Homie.
And
They wanted to
we were
smoke
getting pretty
doinks.
desperate.
Yeah.
But we ended up hitting up this one Mexican dude, or I guess he's light skinned. He kind of looks Mexican.
Yeah, he's not Mexican.
Yeah. But we he said he had a couple of people or whatever, but we just had to go to them. And it ended up being in the Secreto Park. Well, that was the closest meetup point, because I don't know where they were at. And I think we were also picking up. I think we were also thinking about picking up someone else. But but anyways, we get there and this dude has to go to work in a few hours, and he forgot to call up his job to say that he was
And this
what's
is
it
the
called,
light skin that he
skipping.
said was a Mexican. The guy, and he,
Yeah.
okay, keep in mind, Zian is 14 years old, and the people he was hanging out with they were both 16 at the time, I believe, right? Yeah, they were. Or no, no,
No,
no, no,
because I was
no.
also
One of them
with
wasn't. One of them wasn't.
two of them weren't. Two of them weren't. Because there, if you could
Okay,
off of the
okay,
first
it's
letter
fine.
of the
No, it's
name,
fine.
there was also yeah, okay.
So,
But
anyways,
basically, they were older.
but the light skin is 19, and he can't really get his shit together either. So just continue with the story, just knowing that this guy just basically doesn't have his shit together.
Wait, is that
Well,
Bean?
we end up meeting with.
You.
Oh,
And
Yes, yes, Cameron. Just keep fucking talking.
God.
Oh my.
Oh my. Oh God.
Hey, that's better than using actual names. Like,
Just say B from
Well,
now on so they
okay.
know who you're talking about, bro.
Oh yeah. God.
wait,
Oh,
Zine, what are you
okay.
typing?
Continue.
Give me
Continue,
a
Sam.
second. Okay, so there were these. We ended up meeting with these two shady people that I'm pretty sure were older than Bean, and
I thought I did something
oh,
wrong. I'm
sorry,
so confused.
you said his name, bro. I mean, like,
Well, let's not.
it would kind of.
You said his name. Oh my.
Yeah, okay, just keep going. Just keep going. Oh my god.
Okay, sorry. I was at the part where he was sick or whatever, and he ended up like basically over the phone. It sounded like he was puking up his guts and wouldn't be able to live, and I thought that was super funny. But wait a second. Oh yeah, Cameron, you're doing the right thing. Um, ah shit. He ended up puking up his guts, and what happened was we went there with like two swishers or whatever, and we ended up wanting to smoke both of them. But what the other people had in mind was they were gonna get one of them since they had no swishers, and
Shit, how do I do
they
this?
just didn't have anything to smoke with, and they only had the weed. But what happens was Bean goes in the car with them, and the two other people with me in the car were like, "God damn! It's been at least 20 minutes since they pulled up, and it's taking for everything to happen, you know." And it's literally so long. Like we almost end up going over to the car, and it's like, "Hey, what's happening?" But like at the very last second, Bean steps out the car, and he's like, "Okay, I got it," and he pulls out one motherfucking blunt, and obviously the other two people were expecting another one. And they're like, "What the fuck, bro?" And they're like, "We're definitely supposed to have two." And he was, "Oh," and I think he knew that they needed one, and just the fact that like he just couldn't tell us that, but it was kind of messed up. Um, but let's see. After that, we end up stepping outside the car, and we milk there for a little bit, like out in the parking lot. And everyone else is like, well, the other two people were, and Bean, and everyone else is like, we should probably do this somewhere else. So what happened is the other older people split off, and me, Bean, and two other people end up going
I just
to the
realized I spelled
cave.
that wrong. Like no one else told me about it either, bro.
Jesus,
Look at
Cameron.
it.
Shut up! Alright.
Cameron, shut up.
What happens is, oh shit, with two E's, nice one.
Years.
Um,
Bro.
what happens is,
Can't not laugh at that.
shit, God, we end up splitting off into the cave, and um, there was another family there. They'll come up it later on. It was a kid and a mom and her dad. And what happens is we get this lit picture in there. I don't know where it's at anymore, and I don't know who has it anymore. But we get this lit ass picture. It looks really dope. Back then, at least.
Get this lit. Do you want to explain what the picture
God.
is? Like, how lit is this picture?
It's
Like, so
basically
lit that
all
you
of
had
us
to
in
put
the
it in the
cave.
story.
It was basically this picture, and we were all high as fuck, and we what's it called? It just I don't know. It just looked like it overall like the best picture ever. I'll describe it to you later. I'll see if I can find it. But uh anyways, we get the picture, and all of a sudden we step out the cave and we start heading up the hill, and all of a sudden we just hear, "Man in the black hoodie, please come down here." And it was some dude on the siren or something like that. And we all look around, bro. I don't know what they were doing, but I know I was already gone, bro. I was dipped. I was out that hoe. we there was like a no trespassing part, and I got all the way up there. I know Trent. The person was.
Just keep
Sorry.
going, bro. Just keep saying.
um, he was close behind, and shit, and the other last two people were coming up behind us, and all of a sudden, like they say it again, and we're like, holy crap, what are we supposed to do? Because minor in possession and shit like that, and apparently all of a sudden it just went away, and everyone else was just like, oh, we basically jocked it up to. They would have said it one more time, or someone would have chased after us, because we were up there for like a solid 10 minutes, and nothing happened. So that was kind of scary, and that was basically the end of that. But we end up walking around the whole park just to make sure, so we didn't go like the straight path that we came from. And then that family that we see a family just walking across like the way across the bridge or just walking around. I guess there isn't really a bridge there. Um, God, it got cold. But we see a family walking and shit like that, and then we end up walking back to the place, and we see this mom turn around at us. She's like the Karen, and she's like, "Don't bring marijuana to the park." And and everyone was like, "Oh, okay, whatever, whatever." And I just,
God damn it,
this
Karen.
girl has like,
Karen.
this girl has like the fattest ass, bro. Like, the kid must have been already in the car.
Oh,
or
I
whatever.
remember this
But I
part.
just look. I looked around at everyone, and I was like, "Damn, that bitch has a bubble butt." But I thought I said it just loud enough for everyone. But apparently the girl turned around, and I didn't realize. I got in the shotgun, and everyone was like, "What the fuck, dude? Why did you say that so loud?" I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Oh my god." And we barely made it back
That
to
bitch got a bubble butt.
we barely made it back with like any gas, and yeah, that was pretty good.
On the topic of
Uh,
like, like barely,
Bubble
like
butts.
no.
Peyton, bro. Oh my.
Almost getting away. Almost
Stop.
Bro, you
getting
just
away.
said another
Camera.
freaking.
And so, anyways, one time, this is when it was me, Blake, and three, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 other friends. I can't even remember. And we were all at our friend's house that we always go to. It was our smoke spot, pretty much. And literally, okay, so this day, I was kind of freaking out because I didn't, like, this was one of my first time smoking since I got grounded again. And I was like, okay, well, maybe
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'll go. I'll go and everything. Whatever you do, I just don't want to be in the car with weed. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. And so, we were all just hanging out, and like, we still haven't got any weed. And I was like, okay, this is getting out of hand. Like, when are we gonna get it? And because we were trying to get like 3 different people, and we finally got a hold of this one guy, and he's all the way in Ozark, and I have the money for it.
Yeesh.
And basically, I get forced to go, bro, and I did not want to go, and I was like, oh my god. And before this, we were just driving around. So we're literally driving on fumes. Like the gas tank is empty. Like it said, there's an E on it, and we didn't realize how far away his house was. Like he's like, it's like a Nixon address, but it's in fucking Ozark. Like it was so far away. And so we're driving. Me and my friend, we're driving down there, and of course everything was fine at first. And there's like as soon as we were about to turn onto a street, there's just like a cop setting in like a just like a little like dugout area the cop set in. And I was like, oh, it's whatever. He's probably just looking for people, like with like tail lights out and shit. And I was like, Matthew, everything on your car is good, right? He's like, oh yeah, everything's fine. I was like, okay, good. And so we keep going, and we finally get there. We get the weed, 5 grams, and then we dip. And we're
That was
going
pretty
back.
fun, by the way.
Yeah, that night was pretty fun. And we're going back, and I'm freaking out because our tank is on empty. I literally don't know if we're gonna be able to make it home. I'm freaking out. We're about to run out of gas. We're like 20 minutes away from the house we're going to, and we pass the cop again, and we're like, oh well, there he is again. All of a sudden, I see this motherfucker's sirens turn on. I was like, oh my god, bro! My heart dropped. I was like, dude, I can't. I was like, you realize if I get caught again, I'm going to juvie, or I'm getting on like longer probation. I was like, I can't do this again, bro. I literally was freaking out. And he was like, just calm down, just act natural. I was like, okay. So literally, I just stuffed that shit under my seat, and the whole car smelled like dank. And I was freaking out, and he finally like ended up pulling us over. And he came over, and he was like, what you boys doing out so late? I was like, oh, we were just at our friend's house, and we're trying to get back before curfew, because curfew's 1 in Missouri for like kids under 16. And, for driving at least. Walking, I don't know what it is, but... So we started, we were just like bullshitting him, just telling him what we were doing, and he was like, oh, so what's that lighter for? He's like, and we're like, oh, we just like catching stuff on fire. And he's like, oh yeah, you sure it's not for smoking anything? And bro, my heart was pounding, and we were like, yeah, no, it's like not for anything like that. We just like lighting stuff on fire. He's like, oh, so you guys are little pyros? And we're like, yeah, I guess you could say that.
I bet the best
And-
answer would have been my dad smokes.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
No,
because
I like lighting stuff on fire.
And I mean, but that's honest. That's actually why we had it though, because we already had like 6 at his house. But we were, so I was like freaking out, and so he walks back. Oh yeah, and he's like, "Do you know why I pulled you over today?" And we're like, "No, like why?" And he's like, "You don't have a license plate light." And I'm like, what the fuck is a license plate light? But I was just glad that it wasn't for anything, like he hasn't made a step out of the car yet or anything, because I know how that shit goes. Like, if you step out of the car, you're fucked. And he's like, oh, alright. And then he's like, I won't write you a ticket. Can I have your driver's license and, like blah, blah, blah. And Matthew's like, fuck, I forgot my wallet at my house. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, bro. And he's like, okay, do you know your social security number? He's like, I think, and he says it, and he's like, that's not it. He's like, do you know the first 3 digits to it? And he says it again, he's like, that's not it either. And then, like, he's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to ring you into the system. So he ended up, like, getting him into the system, saying how, and he walks back, and before this, it was me, Blake, and, like, everybody, we were eating pizza. We were eating, Little Caesar's pizza, and we paid for it all in pennies. We paid for an entire pizza in pennies. And there was like slices of pizza all over his car, and the officer walks back and is like, what is this pizza on your car? And it's still on there from that long drive. And I was like, oh, that's probably from our dumbass friend. That's whose house we're going to right now. We just got pizza, and we paid for it all in pennies. And I swear this is why he let us off the hook. We lifted up the drawer, like we lifted up like we basically showed all the hiding spots because we hid in the most obvious spot under the seat, and we lifted up the fucking glove box, and we're like, see, here's the pennies we paid for. He's like, oh, that's pretty cool. He's like, yeah, he's like, here's my card. If you just call this, I can get you like a license plate light for free or whatever. And we went home, and I was so fucking scared. And literally, like, it took us so long to get home. I'm sure I was freaking out, bro. That was terrifying.
Yeesh.
Because once one of those things happens, it just like your heart just stays pounding for like the longest
Mhm.
times. For the longest
It's like
time,
when
not
you're
times.
at a 1v1 in Fortnite for the victory royale, bro.
Yep, exactly.
Just like that.
I don't know how it could be
Okay.
any different.
Well, that was a pretty good story.
Yeah.
That night was lit though.
I
I can't even
still-
remember. We had so many nights like that. I can't even remember what we ended up doing that one. But was that the one
Yeah.
Dylan was there?
No,
Yo,
he
can
was
someone
there
like
another night.
teleport me to where everyone else is at, or like,
I'm doing my own thing.
shit?
Yeah.
Oh my god, everyone's so far away.
So, I'm trying to think.
You trying to be
Tell
great?
about the Just tell him multiple stories. Tell him
Hmm.
about the one where you ripped the girl off with honey.
Oh, yeah, that was
oh
really good.
yeah,
That was
I
definitely
forgot
good.
I did that. Okay, so I had this freaking Infinix, and if you don't know what Infinix is, it's a freaking
Nick
vaping
device.
device. Yes.
like a big jewel.
No,
It looks like a
please,
big
please
jewel.
don't, Zine. Yeah, it's just big jewel,
Oh,
and so basically she's like, okay, I'll give you 25. And I'm like, will you give me 30 if I fill up the pod? She's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And it's this freaking, like, 7th grader. She was just doing it probably to flex to her friends. And then, and then freaking, I'm like, well, shit. She said she can come pick it up in 10 minutes. Like, I don't know what I can. And so I just fill it up with honey. And literally,
First he
that
texts
shit
me.
tasted.
And he's like, "What should I do?" And I was like, "Just fill it up with honey." And he's like, "Is that gonna like blow it up?" And I'm like, "I mean, maybe, but it'll be fine."
So, oh, I forgot to tell them my mission to get the honey. Okay, so
Oh,
I
this
get the
part
honey,
was so funny, dude. I remember you telling me.
and my mom's like, "What are you getting the honey for?" And I'm like, I just have a strange craving for honey right now." She's like, okay, shouldn't you be getting a spoon or something?" I'm like, "Nah." And then I freaking just start downing the honey like right in front of her. Yeah, I just start drinking it out of the jar, and I had the worst stomach ache after I did that crap.
Dude, yeah,
And,
honey alone, it's so raw, and it's just like, ugh.
I love honey. Honey's
and
good.
it's that kind of honey. It was like the
Honey
100% natural. It was like the organic
Oh.
honey.
Oh
So,
yeah, like
Oh.
the bear, the one
this
in
shit
the
was like
bear thing,
potent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was
Yeah. So I do that, and then so keep in mind my whole family's home. Like my mom, my dad, like they're all off work that night because they all work the night shift, and so I stuff the honey in my pants and I walk into the bathroom. Like probably the most obvious things that you do. And as I'm stuffing the honey in my pants, my brother calls me. He's like, "Blake, what are you doing tonight?" I'm like, "Oh my, this is literally the worst timing ever." I'm like, nothing, just hanging out and playing Xbox." He's like, "Oh, fun, fun." And he's literally like stalling me for like the longest time. This girl's gonna be here in like 5 minutes. I'm like, "Okay, bro, I just gotta figure out how to put this honey in here." And then I get in there, and then the honey freaking lid is like 10 times bigger than the Infinix pod. I'm like, bruh, how am I supposed to put this in here? So what I do is I basically just unleash like half the bottle of honey onto this pod, and and it's all just falling into the sink and everything. I'm like, well, that works. And then I didn't think before. I didn't get any paper towels. I don't know why I didn't get toilet paper. I just put the pod back into the Infinix, and I guarantee whenever she freaking tried to take that pot out, she could not get it out because because I just stuck it in there full of honey.
Oh my
And,
god.
and then she comes over. Dude, this girl is literally like, she sounds 7. She's like, hi, I'm here for the Infinix. I'm like, I'm like, okay, here you go. Don't get too addicted. And she's like, and then she laughs and her freaking cringe ass laugh. I still remember that. Yeah. Yeah, and basically gave that to her, and then around 10 minutes later, she texts me. She's like, my sister says the pod's kind of burnt. I'm like, what? It wasn't burnt before I gave it to you. She's like, I'm like, what does it taste like? She's like, kind of tastes like burnt honey mustard. I'm like,
Yo, Dean, put him back. Put him back, bro. Look at this. It's
yeah.
hilarious.
And so basically that's it. Bro,
Oh, that's
that
funny.
yeah, that was pretty funny. Gosh, I got turned around a
God.
bit again.
How much meat there is.
I remember that. That was, God. Uh,
Yeah. Oh, it's almost start. We've already been talking for 40 minutes. Dang, time flies by.
Okay. Well, I could tell the story of my brother's birthday party and how I kind
Yeah, I
of
haven't
almost
heard it.
died
I
when
haven't
I'm
heard
thinking
anything.
about it.
You
It's just
kind of
like,
almost died. Okay, yeah, I haven't
like
heard it.
a little background information. I'm pretty sure it was like my brother's 6th or 7th birthday party, and
It was like shit.
he decided to have like, it was kind of like just a home birthday party. So we hired like basically Jump Mania people to come out, and they got like inflatables out here, and we had like a water slide and everything, just the usual. Was I just lagging there?
No.
no.
Well, what ended up happening was after everyone was eating and stuff like that, we all decided to get back on the inflatable, and apparently everyone wanted to go in, and even the adults were in there actually, and we started to
Shit's
fill
poppin'.
the inflatable, yeah, and the inflatable up with like what's it called, water, and there's
What's it
fishnets in
called?
it, but it's
Water.
only sorry, I was thinking of my next sentence, but we started filling it up with water, and there's like fishnets at the top but not at the sides, and there's this small ass entryway out. But basically what ends up happening is the water starts to overfill so much it's actually like weighted down, and then all of a sudden everyone just moved to the back of it, so the whole entire thing flips. And let me tell you, there's probably some niggas that don't even know how to swim yet, and the water's that halfway up the motherfucking inflatable, and I was at the bottom of it, and there was this one big ass dude. I still don't know who it is to this day, but there was this one big ass dude on top of me, and I remember like just thinking like, damn, I'm gonna drown right here over this fat ass nigga. All because this nigga couldn't eat a couple McBurgers. But what ended up happening was that dude for some reason like moved out the way, and like I don't know how we drained it, but I know we weren't ever allowed to call them again. We're like banned, but we ruined it. We absolutely like ruined the inflatable. But we ended up just what's it called?
That's a black flame.
Taking out all the water out of it and like putting it down, but that fat ass nigga still to this day. What the fuck, Cameron?
I'll tell
That's
you
basically
about
the
how
story.
I almost died one time. I have a few near-death experiences, to be honest, but this one was probably like the longest, like drawn-out one. So, like, we were all at Bailey's house. We were just chilling at his house
Oh
or
yeah, I
whatever.
remember this. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was so many people there,
I
bro.
did.
And like there were like pretty much like half the sophomore class was there. It was crazy. And people were like spinning around for like 10 seconds and jumping in the pool. And everybody's like, "Oh, let
Oh,
me
I
try.
now
You're so
remember
small.
it.
You'll get."
I remember.
They're like, "You'll get so dizzy. You should try it." I was like, "All right, fuck." And I spun around for a solid like 2 minutes until I felt like I was gonna throw up, and I couldn't even see where the pool was. And I was like, somebody direct me to the pool, bro. And I like walked over and I like jumped in. And literally, I did not think that it was gonna be this hard to swim, but it felt like I was floating in space. I shit you not. Like I could not control where I was going at all. Like I was so apparently what I heard afterwards, people were telling me I was like swimming around in circles, like I was like just in circles over and over again, like on my side. but I was freaking out, and I was down there for what felt like an eternity, bro. Like my life, like it didn't flash before my eyes as much, like, but I was just
Really,
like thinking
Blake?
about like all the. I was like, damn, bro. I was like, this. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm gonna die like this. This is gonna be like such. Like I literally thought, and so oh yeah, I thought I saw the wall, and I was like, oh yes, finally, if I can get to this wall, I can touch it and pull myself up. And it was the bottom of the pool. So I was swimming down, and it was the bottom of the pool, and I touched it, and I tried to pull myself on the bottom of the pool, and I was like scratching at nothing, and I realized it was the bottom of the pool. And at that point, bro, I was just about to give up. I was like, that's it. I was like, it's literally over. And I
I'm
just
gonna
started
die.
going,
I'm gonna head
yeah,
out.
yeah.
I
And I
am
was
on
like, I
my
was like, I was like, well, it's it. It's over. I can't believe I'm gonna die like this. So I was about to give up. And then fucking Clay, like everybody, because everybody just like, I guess because I was only in there for like 30 seconds, but it seemed like I was in there for like an hour. I shit you not, I felt like I was in there so long. And everybody, since I was only in there for 30 seconds, nobody really cared. And I guess Clayton noticed that I was like fucking just like limping up, like I was about to just fucking like engulf a lung full of water. So Clayton jumped in and like fucking saved me, bro. Literally, I've never been so scared in my life. Like, well, not scared, but just like shocked. Like literally, I got out and I was like, bro, I don't know if I'll ever swim again. I was like, I don't know if I'll ever like take my hand underwater again. It was terrifying.
Okay, Cameron, you don't have to eat a big bag of chips right now.
I don't know what you're talking
Oh
There's another
my.
time where me and Zian both could have fucking died because of his dumbass.
Oh, you're telling this now?
Yeah, I'm telling this now. So we were
This
at
will
my
probably be
lake
the last
house.
story, by the way.
So we were at my lake house, and we were all just I say we all, but me and Zian were like, oh, we're bored. Let's take a UTV out for a spin. The UTV is like a off-road golf cart. It's like a four-wheeler, like a steering wheel. That's a golf cart. And we took it out for a ride, and I was like, all right, Zian, you want to drive? And Zian's like, I've never really done anything motor before. Kind of like your situation, Cameron, because he's 14. So I was like,
By the way,
oh, it's
Cameron
a,
almost freaking crashed into a light pole and curb, and he ran out in front of his car, and
and
Yeah, you probably thought we were wildin', bro. Or on something.
we'll tell that next. We can tell that next.
yeah,
And
we can tell that next.
because that's a short one. But so me and Zian are in the UTV, and I was like, "Do you want to drive?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll drive. Like I've never done it before, but I'll drive." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine." And I was teaching him how to drive, and he's like, "You think this thing can drift?" And I'm like, "Probably not." And he's like, "Oh, all right." So we're going down this big ass hill. We're going like what, 27 miles an hour. We're going fast as fuck,
Yeah,
bro.
I don't know. Yeah.
We don't have our seatbelts on. We don't have any of our like shit on this UTV, and it's like there's like a roll cage, and I still have like fucking scabs all over the right side of my body from this shit because it was like what,
Oh,
2 weeks
it's
ago.
not bad anymore.
Yeah, I
Is it
think it was
really
2
2
weeks
weeks
ago.
ago? My shit is completely healed. Like, I'll send you a
Mine's
picture right
mine's
now.
not
Or
completely healed, but
mine's
anyways,
completely healed.
we were chilling and going down this hill like 27 miles per hour, and I did not think he was gonna try to drift or anything. And I don't know, did you put the parking brake on too?
No, I
Zian, the
didn't.
parking. Okay, well, for some reason
No.
the parking brake was on. I don't know if you just landed on it whenever we crashed, but anyways, so fucking he tried to drift it on this
The
little
parking brake
cul-de-sac,
was on? I
and
thought that was just gonna be your excuse.
no, it was actually on. Remember, I had to turn it off,
Oh, really?
and
I did
yeah,
not put that on.
and so I was like, oh shit, like that where like it goes in slow motion, you just fucked up. Like I was like, oh god, this isn't gonna be good. I knew I wasn't scared of like dying or anything at that moment. Like I knew it was just gonna like worst to worst, I just break an arm, break a hand, like something, and my parents are gonna be pissed. That's and I was like, oh shit. And this bitch flips, going like 27 miles per hour, and we skid across the ground, bro. If that roll cage wasn't there, it literally would have landed right on our heads. And I don't know how. It's because, like, actually, I know how. Because I tucked in a ball, because I knew if I stuck any limbs out that the roll cage was going to land on it. And that's like 2,000 tons, 2 tons of fucking, like, pure metal just landing on my arm. And I know it's breaking. So I tuck up in a ball. And Zian is in the
Smart
driver's
move.
seat. I'm in the passenger. So it flips and it starts skidding, and Zian lands on me, and we're like just skidding across the ground, and we're still in the UTV. And I was like, oh fuck, this is gonna hurt so bad when we get out. And it didn't hurt at all when I got out because my adrenaline was just pumping. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, bro, is my head okay? I think my head's bleeding. It felt like my head was literally like bleeding everywhere, but it wasn't. I don't know why. But later my head was like super squishy, and I had like a really bad concussion. But there, so it skidded everywhere, and I was like, bro, how are we gonna flip this over? It's like 2 tons. And literally our adrenaline was pumping so much, we literally lifted it like effortlessly. And literally we're just like bleeding out from like our arms, our
Bro,
legs, and
effortlessly, what are you
everything.
talking about, bro? I
What do
literally
you mean,
tried
bro?
so hard, bro. I don't know.
But we did it first try. We literally lifted it up and it was
That
over.
was true, that was true.
Like,
Yeah.
my dad can't even push the bitch. Like, he had to get like a fucking, like, he can't. Anyways, we
Oh, also before that though, we also had to pump all of those tires up. That was just another
oh yeah, I forgot
fiendish
about
trick.
that. So yeah, we had to pump all these tires up, and then um we f- we flipped it over, and literally we're just bleeding out from everywhere, bro. We're like driving back, and we pull into my driveway, and I'm like, bro, what are we gonna tell my mom and dad? I was like, let's just tell them the parking brake got stuck, and we like flipped it over trying to turn a corner, and then we realized that was a fucking horrible idea. So I was just gonna tell them like what happened, only I was just gonna downplay and act like I was driving. And of course, they knew that Zane was driving. They figured it out pretty damn quick whenever they saw that the right side of the golf cart was fucked up, the right side of my body was fucked up, and Zian was way less fucked up than I was because he was driving. And so anyways, yeah, that's that. And we have to fix the UTV because we broke the windshield. It's all scratched up, it's
Jeez.
rusting. And it's not that bad though. Like everything still works at least. But it was pretty crazy though. That was pretty scary. But afterwards, this is how we almost died. My mom and dad were like freaking out. They were like, "Oh, thank God you had your seatbelts on." My mom's like, that girl from my work, like, whatever. Her son died in a crash like that because the roll cage landed on his head. I was like, "Oh my God, bro!" Literally, because we told him we had the seatbelts on, and we fucking didn't have the
Yeah.
seatbelts on, bro. We could have easily been crushed by that bitch and died.
Wait, so how much like trouble did you get in, or did you get in any trouble?
I didn't get in any trouble. They were just more okay that, like, they're just friends aren't allowed to drive it anymore. But I'm just, it doesn't matter. I'll still let friends
Oh,
drive
really?
it. Yeah,
Damn.
that's the only thing. And then, before that though, this was like, we were going fucking crazy. I don't know like what I was kind of being a little dumbass, and it was me, Blake, Cameron, Deontay,
We're telling this now. Yeah.
and and
And
my
your
sister.
sister. Yeah.
And
So we have like
there's,
5 people inside this like little golf cart thing.
yeah, it's supposed to be a two-seater.
me and
Was this in the
yeah,
UTV
me and
or
Deon,
the golf cart?
the UTV. So me and Dante are standing up in the back, and then Landon's sister is sitting in the back while we're standing up. So just to give you in mind, and then Cameron's up front with Landon. That's
Yeah, so
our
like-
position.
So at first, like, Cameron didn't want to drive at first, and I didn't know it's because he's never drove before, and but it doesn't really matter because I just wanted him to drive, like, and so we were going. First we were just like, there's this little off-road place by my house, and we were just going fucking crazy off-road, and we already almost flipped it once going down this hill, and I like turned super quick, and it almost flipped, like hella, like it almost flipped, and Deontay and Allie and Blake were in the back. It could have been bad. It could have been really bad. And
I was ready to jump out that hill.
and me and Cameron. So I was like, all right, Cameron, you drive. I'll stand in the front. And they were sitting in the back. And Cameron's never drove before. You got to keep this in mind. And we were like driving, and he was doing pretty good. And then I was like, all right.
Yeah,
you're
we
just
came to
gonna
like
wanna,
that turn at like where it's like a half sack or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
this
Half
probably
sack.
works. Bro, it
The
didn't
heck is a half
turn,
sack?
like it didn't turn right away. It kind of has to like take lower turns. I was like, oh shit, and it just kept going. I was like, oh my, like we
Yeah,
came
no, the
right up to
turning
the
is
Also,
curb
by
really
the
and
way,
stopped.
on my
dangerous,
point,
bitch.
I was driving pretty good before the drift.
That's true. But we got up to the stop, and it's kind of my fault too, because I was like, all right, whenever we whenever we turn out of here, we're gonna want to do it really quick because this thing takes a while to speed up. So just like gas it, and you'll be fine when you turn. Because if you like gas it while you're turning on the UTV, you're fine. It won't speed up till you're kind of going straight. And I'm kind of guessing what you thought, Cameron, was like I was telling you to go right then, even though that white car was coming, and literally like. Thank God you gassed it when you came out of there, because that white car definitely would have fucking T-boned us if you turned out slow. Because it was like coming out at like 40 or 35 miles per hour, and Cameron pulled out in front of it like super quick, and we were all freaking out at this point. And so Cameron's already freaked out because we're all fucking screaming, and my sister's like, Cameron, you can't, you shouldn't be driving. So obviously he's like getting fucking like I'd be getting flustered too. I'd be like, what the fuck? And he starts like. And then he forgets to turn the wheel back because it's so fucking weird. The steering is so weird on this bit.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to steer that thing. I'll be for real.
And there's literally we almost hit this curb, and I didn't realize that there was a light pole, but there was also almost a fucking light pole. And this white car behind us probably thought we were fucking retarded because there's like 3 kids standing up in the back. Cameron's driving, and he swerves, literally misses this fucking light pole in the curb by like an inch, bro, and then he swerves back out of the way, and we like fly to the left, and we all lean that way, and there's the kids standing up in the back, and we're like, oh fuck, and I'm like, Cameron, just turn right here, bro, there's no cars coming head on, just turn right here, and he turns into the street, and I was like, oh my god, that was fucking crazy. And and that's the time we almost got hit by a car and ran into a light pole.
And keep in mind, all these UTV stories, Landon's probably only had the UTV for probably like a month and a half or 2 months. Or even less than that.
Yeah, it's probably
Dude, yeah,
been like
when
a
we
month.
did that, after like we pulled out in front of that car, my heart was beating so fast, bro. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I would have been terrified because my sister's fucking screaming her lungs out, bro. Like she's like, slow down. She's like, oh my god.
Bro, I think that
Dude,
like amplified it, bro.
Yeah, because you probably got flustered because there's everybody was fucking freaking out, bro. God. All right. I just thought of some good stories to
what
tell
is our
next
time
time
at?
also,
What is our
so
time
we're
at?
set.
Yeah, next. Okay.
Oh yeah, and then keep
well,
in mind
wait,
right
what were you saying?
after I had a perfect just
That's
riding
true.
experience,
That is
bro.
true. Right after everybody, I was like, all right, we're giving Cameron a crash course on driving. Everybody's like, let me out of the fucking car right now. And I was like, all right, I was like, all right, I'll just show him how to drive. And then he figured it out like right away. As long as there wasn't like fucking 6 people in the car screaming at him what to do, he was
I bet you
fine.
I bet you it was also harder to drive like that because there's no power steering. I mean, like what's it called?
Yeah, there's
The
0
liquid
power
for power
steering. It's
steering.
all, yeah.
Plus, it's a smaller vehicle, has like less control if like you like turn hard or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Just
that's
like when
gonna
you're trying to drift and
wrap
stuff
it
like
up
that.
for. Oh, I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. Yeah, and moral of the story: don't drift the freaking UTV that you can't drift. And always don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
don't die.
we'll see you on the Quirky E-Girls podcast next time. And Cameron, you want to hit him with it? Okay, goodbye.